r/AskReddit. What is 10x scarier at night than day? Telephone calls. Telephone call at 3 PM you think, ugh telemarketer. Telephone call at 3 AM you're thinking fuck. Someone died. Nothing good can come from a phone call after 9 PM. Nothing good can come from a phone call. Nothing good can come. Nothing good. Grave accent. That de-escalated quickly. Someone knocking on your door. I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood. Some confused crackhead knocking on your door late at night was commonplace and never really bothered me. As an adult I moved to a pretty isolated village and at 11 PM the local church decided it was a good time to knock on my door and sing hymns. Scared the shit out of me. I think I'd rather have a crackhead knock on my door than that. People screaming randomly. You don't get scared when that happens during the day? Nah, I hear that every day since I live next to crackheads. I was going to say college town but then I realized these are synonymous. Your neighbor using a wood chipper. That's complete natural. Just ignore the screams. That's just the squeaky gears in the machine. Blood? Oh gosh no, that's just sap. That tree sure did have a lot of sap. Jesus, that's a lot of sap. Kids singing nursery rhymes. Your room is silent save the fan that rumbles by your bed. You're breathing steady as a drum with sheep counts in your head. But then you wake with eyes wide and inky fear burns through. You hear a ghostly voice sing, "Baby shark do 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 do." Oh god, oh duck, I'm gonna come. My cat suddenly staring at the empty corner of my bedroom. Probably about a month before I moved out of my apartment in 2018 I was going to bed and my cat was at the foot of the bed. Usually she would leave the bed when I went to bed but that night she stayed there. I wasn't sleeping yet, just messing around on my phone when she went on high alert staring into the kitchen and living room. With the door to the bedroom and living room open it was a straight shot. She did it for so long that I got freaked out and turned on all the lights and investigated. Made sure all doors and windows were locked. I found nothing but it was quite a while before she or I calmed down and slept. The next day I remembered that I had a camera set up in the living room so I pulled it up just to see if I saw a ghost or something. I did not see a ghost. What I saw was something crawling on the cat's bed in the living room. It wasn't the best camera so I couldn't tell what it was, just that it was something, but I was thinking mouse. Several days passed and the cat didn't do the staring into the dark for 30 minutes thing again and I didn't see anything so I figured whatever it was gone. Haha no. I walked into the bathroom a few nights later and turned on the light and saw the largest roach I have ever seen in my fucking life, and I'm from Florida. I think I blacked out but I think I killed it. I had lived in that apartment for almost 8 years and had never seen a roach, and until I moved out a month or so later it was the only roach I saw. So it's not always ghosts. Sometimes it's a giant fucking roach. Honestly I'd prefer the ghost. Swimming in the ocean. I remembered the story my colleague shared with us during our training years ago. He is one of the few who survived the Aceh tsunami. He drifted in the ocean for 9 days. Dead bodies nearby. Lots of debris. He used the debris to build himself a makeshift raft. He saw bodies being eaten by sharks and all manner of sea creatures. Even children's. Nighttime was the scariest for him. You never know what lurks underneath you. Plus with no moonlight, the fear level is up a few more notches. And to this very day, he is afraid of the dark, which is understandable. He kept his spirits high and survived on whatever he could eat and drink. He saw a ship past him, but they didn't see him. A few days went by, nothing. He almost gave up until a ship came and took him to safety. The moment his legs touched the ship's floor, he was totally spent and collapsed. He and his other sibling are the only members of his immediate family to have lived through the tsunami. His parents and 2 siblings perished during the tragedy. He could have avoided the whole ordeal, but on his way to run to the hills, he stopped by to bring his uncle along to run too, which slowed him down. His uncle didn't make it. On the flip side, he was offered full scholarship to further his studies, got a career at the same university, and he is now happily married too. The dark should be afraid of him now. Mirrors. Yes, especially ever since I saw this 2-sentence horror story. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was coming from the window until I heard it come from the mirror again. Nope, nope, nope. Hell number. Being lost in the woods. Sheet, just the woods in general. My aunt's house has a big backyard surrounded by a bunch of woods. Never know if someone is lurking in those woods just watching you in the dark. Nah. Where I went to college we had a satellite parking lot where I often had to park. Because the tiny lot by my dorm was always full. It was on the opposite side of campus, along the dark and winding road, surrounded by thick trees. I hated the walk from the lot to my dorm late at night. Freezing cold, dark, alone, unidentifiable shadows among the trees, sudden snaps and rustlings from somewhere off the road, heart pounding, walking quickly, trying not to look to the left or right in case something looked back. I grew up surrounded by literal miles of forest on all sides. I've spent probably thousands of hours running around the woods with my friends, hunting, fishing, general outdoorsy stuff, so the forest is very familiar to me, but goddamn if I'm not absolutely terrified to go into a tree line at night. Shit's a whole different level of unsettling from a dark house or alley. Windows and gaps between things. You look through them for long enough, you start to feel like you're about to see something move, and if it sees you as well, you're in danger. But of course, you know that there's nothing right outside your window. There's nothing between the trees on the other side of the road. There's nothing that could suddenly beeline for you, right? Windows during the day are wonderful portals through which I can stare out into the woods and appreciate the sun, and let the air in. Windows at night are places where things can see and enter into my home. Anytime I walk by one I feel like I'm being watched. Anytime I turn my back to one I feel like I'm in imminent danger. Some years ago I discovered that for me it's flying. I've flown a lot in my life. Starting very young, I'm annoyingly happy and excited when flying during the day. I had a night flight from Minneapolis to Phoenix. I had a panic attack while flying for the first time. I looked out the window and just completely lost it. I cried nearly the entire flight. Happy cake day my guy. Take the upvote. Closing your eyes in the shower. This reminds me of a funny story from my best friend. Their bathroom didn't have a window and one time his mom went in for a shower. During the shower while she was washing her hair and closed her eyes the power went out. She opened them but everything was pitch black. She panicked and thought she suddenly went blind. She ran out of the bathroom looking for help, totally wet and naked, screaming for help that she was blind until her kids yelled at her. LOL. Thankfully I wasn't over at the time, but funny as fuck to me. Haha. The cemetery. It's funny, I did that once as a young teen with one friend. We just sat there and chilled and talked and it was just tranquil, not scary at all. Plenty of light from the full moon. Now thinking back of it I'm fucking scared in my own backyard at night. Swinging on a swing. Old neighbor had a daughter who would go out to the swing in their backyard and swing for hours on end. It could be 10 at night and you could hear the creaking of the swing. Scary stuff. A clown dragging an axe down a road. So, it's not scary at day? Your apartment building's front door's glass shattering from inside to out. This happened some time ago. I was sleeping and suddenly pop, crash, and shatter. I live just above the door so I got to experience it in its full glory. So anyway, I go check it out. Then I called the cops and the maintenance number. Then the neighbor next to me came to check it out too. And we wondered about it in the dark of night. The downside of living above the lobby that I hear all the strange things that happen in there and at the front yard. I guess there was a reason why this apartment used to be the caretaker's apartment. Being a woman and having to walk somewhere alone. Well, as a man that scares me too. Yeah, I'm a big burly man, the kind of person people avoid in the night, and even I'm quite scared walking in certain streets and areas during the night, and I live in a boring and safe Finnish city. I'm a man as well, though unfortunately not a very strong one, LOL, and I tense the fuck up when cars pass me on my nightly walks. Though a long time ago I opted to make myself look like somebody even a lunatic wouldn't want to try picking up. Basically like a lunatic myself. I'm talking all black so most people won't even be able to see me. Hood on, gloves, no light and hands in pockets inside jacket whenever car passes. I'll proudly call myself an edgy retard if it means I won't get raped to death or some stupid shit like that, LMAO. You'll get hit by a car, raped to death by a car, r/cars raping people.